Unique Noise presents Who Are You?, where we interview you and get to know you on a deeper level, with your hosts Joel and
Sam,
along with our guest
Mauri.
This time around, we'll be talking a bit, or most of it was going to be about family, some very interesting facts as well, or fun facts, and a bunch of other things. Along with talking about family, we brought up this quote by Michael J. Fox.
who's that?
I think it's an actor. Very important actor, right?
Yes. He just performed with Coldplay.
Oh.
Yeah.
The quote goes, "Family is not an important thing, it's everything."
Can you see me, or is this washing me out completely?
I can see you.
Okay.
You're right underneath that halo.
Nice. That's what that's what she used to tell me growing up.
That you're underneath a halo?
I'm right underneath the halo. AKA, I'm an angel. Which is one of Joel's favorite shows, if you remember.
Touched by an angel?
No, Angel, like Buffy.
Oh.
Like from Buffy.
Sorry, I'm a different generation.
Didn't you watch those Buffy shows? The Joss Whedon
I
ones?
watched them afterwards.
Okay.
After they were a thing when they were streaming.
Oh, I've never seen them, so
They're okay.
yeah. I just knew all the little white boys at school were like, Sarah Michelle Gellar's so hot. Like, did you guys watch Buffy? I'm like, no, I don't. But that's nice. I'm like, and she seems kind of basic. So, you've been manipulated.
Okay?
Okay? I've just been trying to get you into a comfortable zone so you could talk about yourself a little bit.
I have no problems talking about myself.
I know you don't, but I'm trying to practice on being a better interviewer.
Got it. Sorry, got it.
So, yours, let's get you to do a brief introduction. So, your name, whatever name that you would like to present for the podcast, and then kind of just a kind of like a one paragraph blurb about like an about you kind of
Sure.
thing, and then how you know me.
Sure. So I'm Mauri Matsumoto, and I'm 57. I have 4 boys that I'm extremely proud of and love. I am an executive assistant to a CFO for a healthcare company. Very proud of that accomplishment because I didn't go to college and I was a stay-at-home mom taking care of those 4 boys. I am currently in a second marriage, which I upgraded. No offense to my first marriage. Learned a lot there. What else? I've known Sam all his life, and I now know Joel through Sam. So, anything else? Like where I live or
No.
anything else you
No, you
think is...
no, yeah, no, that's
Okay.
fine. That's more than enough. It's just like a brief introduction to
Got it.
who the fuck are we interviewing, right?
Got it. That's my elevator pitch.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, and mentioning how dynamic I am and all those other kinds of things I thought was just kind of filler and fluff. I didn't really want to get into that. Oh, oops, I just did.
All right, thank you. Also, thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with all of our technical difficulties. We had way more than I think was necessary or appropriate. Considering
that once.
Yeah, considering we've been doing this is our 20th episode. It was embarrassing.
Well, first
Things happen.
episode
It's not a big deal.
But yeah, it is our first remote episode, so we're
Yeah.
learning.
But still,
Again.
things happen. Not a big deal.
It's not a big deal, but it's still embarrassing, and I don't like it.
It's fine.
Oh.
It's fine. Thank you, Guillermo. I don't know how racist that sounded to you or not. Joel has presented that we should be Jimmy Kimmel and Guillermo.
I'm going to disagree with that.
I actually can see that. I'm offensive and sensitive.
Which Kimmel is not.
He is very offensive and very sensitive.
Maybe. And Guillermo seems more like the butt of the joke
Well,
almost.
Guillermo's the Hispanic one, which is why Joel brought this up, I think.
So don't you want to blaze your own trail, though, and kind of create your own team, dynamic duo, as it were?
It's just inspiration. And
Got it.
and that's the elevator pitch to high execs, where you can't pitch something brand new. You got to pitch them something they already know.
Sure.
So you're like, oh, remember that car from Blade Runner? That's what we're going for. And they're like, oh, I remember Blade Runner. That's a good idea.
Got it. I just thought you would want to aspire to a more lofty example.
Yeah, we're nothing like them.
Joel, how do you feel? You have to have an opinion.
That was my opinion.
Yeah. Guillermo doesn't have a bowl.
I had brought it up when he said what our goals were for the podcast. I'm like, oh, we should have it almost like a talk show kind of format where he can be host and I can just be like a backup kind of. And then I just gave the example of like, oh, like the Jimmy Kimmel show where he
Got
has-
it.
Well, now I have Joel taking notes now, which is a huge relief. Because I was taking notes for the show while doing the show with Joel.
Okay.
Yeah. And now you're all caught up.
Thanks.
So let's get into the easy stuff,
Sure.
shall we?
Bring it.
So just
Bring
just a fun fact, hobby, interest, or passion of yours that you would care to share.
Oh my goodness. One that was just sort of somebody was very surprised at recently is how much I like Legos. I think it's kind of fun and interesting and a hobby. Although I just went on the site recently and was not inspired or wanting to buy anything, which I was a little concerned about. Like, have I lost that connection? But I don't know.
I mean, I did see that they had a bunch of like the botanical stuff or like
Yeah,
foliage
those
or
are
whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
But I also have like several sets that I haven't built yet. So apparently, if I die, guys are gonna inherit them anyway. So there's those. Make sure you put a sticky note on the one you want.
Will do.
As far as I think that's. I don't know how deep to go. I guess another interesting fact that we have 8 cats.
That is a fun fact. I feel like most.
I'm just trying to.
There's a lot of people who are obviously like into Lego, and then you got
Sure.
it's the 8 cat part though. I think really takes care of it.
I think so too. Or that I have weapons training with AR-15 and handguns. That's another one.
I mean, how many episodes are you trying to do right now?
Sorry. I'm so multifaceted and interesting. I don't know when to stop. Just give me a signal, Sam. Just
Okay.
cut me off.
So
No, I'm
why
done.
don't we
I'm done.
why don't we talk about the cats for a second? Because
Sure.
I imagine most people who hear that you have 8 cats makes it sound like you're an insane person a little bit. But
I
that's
would also
not.
think that they're conjuring up this imagery of me like in a house coat with curlers or messed up hair and
Right.
slippers and
Right.
yeah.
Like crazy cat lady vibe, right?
Yeah.
So how'd you get 8 cats? How did that happen?
I adopted or went on the internet and actually looked for a bonded pair of cats because at the time I was taking care of my dad and I seriously needed emotional support. And so I found these cats. It was a black and an orange one. And when I asked about them, the bonded pair, they said that, oh, we adopted out the orange one, but we still have the black one, and he bonds himself to anybody. So he's bonded to this tabby. So that's the pair that I did pick up. And Jack is our black cat, and Sophie is our tabby cat. And Jack has the best personality of any cat I've ever owned, and I've owned several. He's just very affectionate, I guess, and just hilarious. He has so much personality. Then my husband David had kind of around the same time had a stray cat in his backyard. So he tried to keep, he had built a shelter kind of for it out of a tote, like a plastic tote, and thought it would go in there, and it never did. It went into, he has a small garage that he has all his motorcycles in. And so the cat kind of got her way in there, and it would hiss at him when he would kind of go into that thing, and he just thought, oh, it's kind of more of a feral cat. Well, come to find out, she was pregnant, and she was trying to find a cozy little spot to have her little babies, and she did have her babies inside of his motorcycle shed, and she had 5, which is kind of a lot for a cat.
Yeah.
So they just kind of played in his little courtyard that he has, this little area, and he contacted a kind of a volunteer program that helped him trap them, and he paid to get them all fixed. And then they were just going to set him loose back in his backyard. And we also found out that I don't think his neighbors were very supportive of that. So they had teased, I don't know in a specific conversation, but we knew that they were going to either shoot them with pellets or whatnot kind of weapons, guns, or else they would get eaten by wildlife, coyotes or whatnot, or get run over by cars. We were remodeling at the time. My dad had passed away by this time, so his bedroom was now empty, and we were trying to figure out what to do anyway. So I said, just bring them here. We'll put them in the back room and then find them homes and just basically foster them.
Whoops.
So,
Whoops.
So we are what's known as a foster fail, and they did find their forever home, which is here. So that gave us the 6 with the additional 2 that I had. But also fun on that fun fact train, because they were born in his motorcycle shed, the mom is named Cowie for Kawasaki, and all the kittens are named after motorcycle riders. So there is Kenny and Doug, and I don't know the last names of all these riders. And there's Freddie and Ricky and Bubba. The one that I do know is Doug, which Doug DeMoco was apparently a famous motorcycle rider that did wheelies like in San Francisco all the way up the hills and jumped and he was just like a famous wheelie guy. Our cat Doug gets up on his hind legs like a lot. Like he does really great wheelies. So
living up to his name.
And he didn't even know it. So yeah. But now that they're here, it seems kind of like a lot. It does when we try to get sitters or that kind of thing. But we do have a couple that does come and stay, and when we're able to go away or when they're available, and they do watch them. So, and actually, another fun fact, I'm just a fun fact queen. We did have 2 dogs too prior, and so we did have the 8 cats and the 2 dogs, and it was just cozy.
I mean, I've stayed at the place while all of the animals were there, And it didn't feel like there was that many animals there.
No.
But to be fair, 6 of the cats were hiding at all times.
True.
And
True,
the dogs
true,
were
true.
just kind of laying around.
True. I mean, I'm only in a 1,300 square foot house, so you would think it would just be, I would be buried in fur, or that it would smell like one of those rescue places. Which I'm glad to say it does not smell that way.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like cats in your home.
Right.
Yeah.
Where some people who only have one cat, it's like, oh, you have a cat.
I mean, that's just bad litter, I think.
I think so. Or lack of cleaning it
Both.
regularly.
Some litter is just bad, I think. It doesn't absorb any of the smell. It just kind of, it helps clump.
Or if they're spraying all over, like if they're not fixed or something. I don't know.
Yeah. What's the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to you?
Most traumatic thing?
Or something bad that's happened to you lately? Or just something that you've grown from lately? So the whole point's growth, though. So it's like something that you've grown from in a traumatic sense, or just something bad that happened like this week, or just something that you've been working on yourself.
I think that it's not like one specific thing, but usually death from anyone in my family. So, like when my mom passed away, and then when one of my aunties passed away, or my last auntie passes away, it all sort of triggers it back to all of the other deaths, you know. And then when my dad passed, he was the last one of all my, well, obviously my parents, but my aunties and my uncles. And I mean, I know we've talked about it before, but there's this weird sense of like a tether that you have to your existence on the planet. And when somebody dies, that like your parent, or I would assume like if you had, you know, your children or anybody who's close to you, that gets severed. And so you feel like this sense of not being so connected to your existence, to the planet, I guess. And it makes you, it either is going to make you stronger, or you're going to get crushed by it.
Well, it provides...
I clearly have...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
It provides a very good opportunity for you to just kind of wallow or disappear.
Right. When my mom passed away, I was pretty young. I was only like 20. I think I was 25, and I had all 4 of my kids, and I was very dependent on her emotionally, a little bit financially. We talked every day, and I mean, you just have to grow up. You just can't, and it happens in an instant. Like you just don't have that opportunity to talk to a person anymore and to kind of bounce ideas off of, or vent, or, oh, what did you do? Or, you know, just having conversation, and you just don't have that. And so I think that helps you grow a lot too. I know for a fact that as much as that was an awful time, that was I think my most growth was during that time. And subsequently after that, you know, every time somebody dies, like I was saying, that you feel a little not as connected. Those are more opportunities to grow each time. There's a lot of reflection, and it's like, well, what am I doing now, and what can I change, and being either a better person or just, you know, just contributing more in a more positive way, because you feel like, oh crap, time is just slipping. I just turned 57. My mom passed when she was 57. She passed away a couple of months after she turned 57. So that has taken up a little bit of space in my brain. Not that I wanted it to, but it just has. And I just feel like, gosh, I'm only 57, and I have all these things to look forward to, or to do, or I want, you know, and to think that hers was just done. It was just done. And then it just makes you reflect. Although, you know, as me saying that out loud, it's certainly not making me exercise anymore like I'm supposed to. But still, it does make you reflect on the bigger picture.
This might get cut out, but has your urge to kill been increasing as you've been less and less tethered to people, or less and less tethered to life?
My urge to kill?
Yeah.
Like people?
Yeah.
That bother me?
Yeah.
I don't have the urge to kill.
That's great. We'll keep that in then. Make sure the government doesn't go after you.
Yes, please do. Or that just goes into the crazy cat lady umbrella, and it's just,
Like, of course she killed everybody.
And she probably eats them and feeds them to her cats.
Yeah. Cats will eat you if you don't feed them.
That all tracks. So, yeah. Why would you think I kill people?
That was just a joke.
Mm.
Because you kept talking about how, with every death, you're kind of less tethered
Oh, yeah.
to life. So it's like, with less tethers to life, your urge to kill just increases over time.
Oh. No, even watching all my myrtleizing shows, I don't have that urge to kill. I don't understand why people kill. It's like, just get divorced or just break up or just walk away. But no, now I got to cut you in little pieces because you don't fit in that tote. And
I do feel like that's one of the things we have in common, where I don't know if we have it in us to kill somebody unless it's like very, very, very real life or death.
Okay, let me take that back.
Like if somebody is
broke into my
trying to
house-
kill you, I think you'd be able to
that's
do
what I'm
it.
saying, yeah.
But if they're not like actively trying to kill you, it's difficult. I'd have a hard time crossing that line unless like somebody had a knife to my neck or a gun to my head or something like that.
Well, controversial tidbit of information, I have a loaded weapon in my house. Well, actually, I have several. So if someone comes into my house, sorry.
I mean, I got 2 loaded weapons with me at all time. Yeah, that. Guns. Everyone's got 2 guns on them at the same time. Anyways.
We have the right to bear arms.
Yes. You have the right to have as many bare arms as you want. Moving on to our next segment.
Sure.
And you're doing great, by the way.
I know.
And you're going to...
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
So, have you heard? Time travel exists. It's a thing. Where do you go? When do you go? And why? Now, and I'm sure we've talked about this, but for the sake of the audience, all 2 other people who listen to the podcast besides you, you're in kind of like a spherical bubble where none of your actions have any consequences, so you can just kind of witness things in history or witness things in the future or the present, whatever, like all time travel, right? Where do you go?
So no interactive, nothing to interact with.
No,
so
but
it's not like you could fix mistakes or
no, but
redo
we talk about that all the time though too, where we present the question that way and then we run out of things to say, so we're like, well, this would change everything, but this is what I would do.
So, in a choose your own adventure sort of narrative, if I went to the past, it would just really suck because I can't change anything, right? If I can't interact and if I can't do anything. So I'm not going to choose that way because it's sort of helpless. It's a more of a helpless feeling than I would like to experience. Like, why would I go in the past and then see my mom? Great, but I can't talk to her and I can't spend more time with her or have deeper conversations with her or record more things with her. So it's just more frustrating than anything else. So if I could just sit in my bubble and watch, then I would definitely choose the future so that I could see what my children are doing or what my grandchildren are doing or how they kind of grow and develop and, or how they build their families or, did I leave a legacy or not? Are they doing things that are kind of like, oh, that's neat. Oh, I used to do that with them. That kind of thing. So in your spherical sense of time travel, definitely going to the future and not necessarily to a specific time, but just to see my lineage. growing and prospering.
Okay.
Like a show.
So, what if you could change things in the past? What would you do?
So if I'm able to interact, then that's definitely a go to the past. I mean, it's very clear for me. If I can do things and change things, I'm going to go to the past. If I can't and I'm sitting in that bubble, then I'm going to definitely go to the future. So in the past, there's so many different things though, like, because as you know, I'm getting old as almost dirt now, that I feel like there's so many points along the line that, oh, what if I did that and change that, and then what if I could go back and change that?
This would not affect the timeline per se. This would just be like if you could go back in time somewhere with some sort of interaction, what would that be? And one example of that.
Then it would definitely be just hanging out with my mom.
Like as you are now, hanging out with your mom?
Yeah, because I think I have a richer story to share with her. I have richer experiences to talk to her about. I have, like, it would just, I think, be a more interesting conversation because I think I wasn't so well emotionally, intellectually developed when she passed, that it would be more fun to share who I am now with her.
Well, and I imagine, like, just that concept of if you went back in time now and you were able to have a conversation with your mom, you'd be the same age.
Yeah.
Which would be like a total trip. So it's like not just your mom, but like your mom as one of your peers.
Right.
Which I feel like in that conversation would go very differently, I guess.
But, you know, it's also kind of funny about that conversation would be funny because I would feel like, oh, I know more than you. And she would treat me almost, again, like her child, where, no, you don't know more than me. But it's like, yeah, I do. But, okay, whatever. And so there would be that funny dynamic of, yeah, we're the same age, but, you know, it would just be kind of interesting.
Yeah, but I was your mother first, so.
I know, and it's like, but you didn't. Well, okay. You didn't even have the internet. Okay, Mom, whatever. But it's funny, you know, when I was kind of talking about changing things, as much as it would be interesting, I guess, to do so, and I know in your world nothing else changes, but I don't, as bad as times have been for me, and that's something we could get into some other time, but even though I experienced really gut-wrenching moments, I wouldn't change them because I have them now to think about and to see where I've come and see where I am now. And so when things I feel like get hard or difficult or challenging, it's like, yeah, but you survived that, you big baby. And so, you know, so I don't know if I really want to change all that much because it brought me to where I am now.
Yeah, you're a big reason why this question changed over time as well. Because I was floating out the idea to, I think Joel and I were talking about it. I think I called you and we talked about it. And you were basically like, I wouldn't go anywhere in time. Like, I don't need to change anything. And I'm like, well, fuck. Like, the question's dead. Like, we got to figure something else out. So then it was like, all right, well, traveling in time, in a bubble, nothing changes. Everything's fine. Like, no butterfly effect because I had a conversation with my mom saying, hey, I wouldn't change anything because I've learned it from all the things that I've been through, and I wouldn't want to change any of that stuff. And I wouldn't want to go back and
But that's my perspective, though.
No, I know, but your perspective is not yours alone in the world. Like, I'm sure a lot of people think like that. A lot of people who have, I guess, well-adjusted people, right? So
well, in hindsight's fantastic. Yeah. There are things I wish, as a mother, as your mother, I wish that, I should have taken more time to teach you how to do this and this and this. But in that moment, I'm just trying to get laundry done and food
Hey.
and all this other, get you to school.
I know how
there's-
to make top ramen, macaroni and cheese, and French toast. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well,
but you know
and-
what I mean? Like,
Well, I
you
know
watch,
I know more than that too, but it's fine.
you watch, well, obviously, when a grandchild, all of a sudden you have like all this, you see the more tenderness and the more, well, that's because I'm not raising that child, and
You have no
it's just a
responsibility.
different-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic. But yeah, I mean, there's always that hindsight thing, right? And wanting to kind of fix a wrong or do something better. But,
Yeah, fuck it. All right, Joel, let's get your mic hot. You know what it's time for?
My bowl?
ooh, we're at the part of Joel's bowl.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'm a fan. I know what's going on here. I know this format.
Well, it did change a little bit.
Yes, why don't you go into some detail about what's different about Joel's Bowl for Season 2 for the
so
people
this
who have
time-
not been a part of Season 2 yet.
There are no topics. Maybe. I don't know. Sam got a new card game that he wanted to try out, so a lot of the stuff in there is now just questions. More specified instead of broad general topics.
I don't know what's
Got
going
it.
on, but I feel like I've never heard you so quiet before.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like you're being like oddly.
And I'm closer to the mic than normal.
Yeah.
Wait, in volume or participation?
I
More
think he means
volume. Yeah. Are you shy?
No?
Are you being shy? Okay.
This is my normal talking
I am,
voice.
Joel, I understand. I'm such a dynamic creature. I am very intimidating. I get that. I'm sorry. I'll try to tone it down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anywho, there are more specified questions in this bowl
Yes.
than
Got it.
the broader format we had. All right, this question is, or I guess a statement, because these aren't really questions that I'm pulling out. If my younger self could see me today, they'd say,
Holy shit. I think that my younger self would think I'm somewhat boring, besides the Legos, but boring in the sense of, I remember my younger self was always like wanting to be a part of a cause or some sort of protest against hierarchy and patriarchy and, girl power even back then. And it was just, but more to be part of an accepted majority, not necessarily for what the actual purpose was. And I'm much more conservative now than I used to be. I'm also probably not as international as I thought I was going to be. Like I should be in France designing or traveling or doing really worldly.
You did
Things.
travel to France.
I did, but it was for work and I didn't have money then and it was just not a very good experience. And yeah, I think my younger self would think I'm boring. Like just an old fart, which I'm okay being an old fart, but I'm
Okay,
really
well-
happy.
What would happen once you throw a wad of cash in your younger self's face, though? Would she think you were still boring then?
Probably not, because it's buying designer clothes and
It's
things
girl power.
like that. But I think I would. I'm my mother probably in some aspect, and so that's what my younger self would just be like. Oh, you're like a mom.
Yeah.
Funny how motherhood kind of does that, and age kind of does that to a person.
What? Okay, so how young were you thinking just now when you responded to that?
Teenage,
Okay.
because
Well-
I had children like by the time I was 19, so that sort of obliterates that whole time for me. I
Okay,
was just
so-
thinking.
Just for fun to
Yep.
get some extra dialogue out of you.
Yep.
What do you think yourself as a 20-year-old would say to yourself now? Let's say after all the kids, right? Like, let's say just after all the kids. So all you have is motherhood and wifehood.
Same response. Oh, that girl's got her shit together. That's exactly what I would think.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Like that, your teenage self is always going to hate who you are as an adult, I think.
True.
So,
but yeah,
as a young adult,
my 20, 30-year-old self would think, oh, wow, she's kind of got her shit together. Or, she's...
Like I would never be able to get there kind of thing?
Or like, oh, crap, wow, you did get there.
Or how do I do that?
Yeah. I think that would be... Because to think back on all of that, I and not in a boastful way, but I am really proud of myself and my accomplishments and things that I've done and how I got here from there.
That's why I asked. Because I feel like
so yeah,
you'll give yourself compliments in a similar way that I do, where it's like, well, if I can make a joke out of it, like, then it's cool. And if it's not a joke, then it's just me boasting unnecessarily, which makes you which makes your skin crawl a little bit. But as a third party from your life, I think there's a lot there to talk about, which is why you were invited on the show.
Because I'm interesting AF, that's why.
Yeah, you're interesting AF, and you have a lot of accomplishments in what people would consider a very short amount of time.
I would agree, because I have people that I work with that when I started working with them are still doing what they're doing.
Right.
So.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Do you play cards?
I do.
Do you? Do you play these cards?
I do. I don't know.
Sorry.
What are these cards?
See, I feel like I have to change what that section's called, because when I ask people if they play cards, they're like, well, what kind of cards? And I'm like, no, do you play cards is the title of the next segment, which means we're going to give you a card. It's a reference from a show that doesn't exist anymore. I'm sorry, I like it. Okay, Joel.
I'll play along.
Help me out here.
All right, so here in my hand, I have 3 cards from a card game called Bold. So these are going to be bold questions. You have a choice of questions about connections, questions about perceptions, or questions about reflections.
Connections.
All right.
Can you imagine if we were doing this when we first started? We never got to pick. Joel and I just took random cards.
Oh, I would have done well with random. I could have done that.
But the thing with this is now, because Joel and I were asking each other questions before, and now that we're interviewing people, we like to give them a choice. So that way it feels like you're getting what you asked for to an extent. And then Joel and I will ask you a question.
Got it.
All right. So I'll read the first one. And the first question says, what is your ideal flirt to roast ratio? So I guess if you were single, if someone came up to you and started flirting or roasting, I'm assuming, I don't know what the dynamic is there, but...
Well, and I don't think you necessarily need to be single to have a flirt to roast ratio.
I guess, yeah.
As long as it's not crossing any lines of, like intimacy or whatever. But yeah.
Am I understanding the question correctly? Because I don't know, you new kids come up with slang that maybe I don't understand. I'm understanding flirting as flirting, but roasting as a negative.
Roasting as a negative, but I think in terms of if you're allowing somebody to roast you, you are comfortable enough with each other to talk like mad amount of shit.
Yeah, so I would assume this isn't more like for someone you just met, I would assume it's someone that you know.
Somebody that you're connected to.
Yeah, someone
it's
you're
a
connected
connections
to.
question.
Okay, so that in mind, can you read me the question again?
So, what is your ideal flirt to roast ratio?
Oh, okay. And do you want to go through this whole spectrum of people I just meet versus people I've known for a long time? Because
I would
it's
just
different.
say just people you've known.
Yeah, people that you're connected to now. So it's like, let's say people at work or people that you have grown, I guess, close to at like the grocery store or your
Right.
husband or your children or anything like that. It's like,
I'm gonna
well,
say
not your children. Sorry, we shouldn't
you
be. We
said
shouldn't be
ratio.
flirting with you.
Well, no, but I think there's different types of flirting. Flirting doesn't have to necessarily be a man-woman sex thing.
Right.
I think flirting is just kind of being, playful and whatnot. So ratio, I would say then, I was going to say a percentage, but you said ratio. I know I'm Asian, but I don't know if I know the actual math.
You can give us a percentage.
It's still percentage. It
Yeah.
would be ratio.
80, 20, 80 on the flirting, 20 on the roast.
So it's more enjoyable for you to be to have people be nicer to you than not.
Yes, and I want to explain this actually because this was a great learning experience for me. When people are married or have been married for a long time, and I was guilty of this in my first marriage, you have a tendency to, essentially degrade or belittle or punch down to your significant other in a way that's just not very becoming. Like you talk about the ball and chain or the old man, or you just talk in the negative, or you roll your eyes and you just sort of speak about them or speak to other people about them in like that they're annoying or that they're a pain or they don't understand you or they just get in your way or they don't help around the house or all that kind of stuff. And that's just sort of a common thing. And it can happen with friendship or anything, any sort of connection you have with a person. And my current husband, David, very early on had said something about that just in words alone, it didn't make him feel very good joking around like that. And you think it's just a harmless sort of roast. But I took what he said and I thought about it. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't want to be referred to that way out of his mouth and hear about that either, the way he refers to me to other people. So like from the beginning, we've always just tried to talk each other up. So like somebody will say, oh, here's your better half. And it's like, no, this is my wonderful equal. Or it's, or how wonderful, I'll talk about the great things that he does versus the negative things that he does, which aren't very many. But, it's just kind of, I'd rather there be more positive, flirty, friendly dialogue than roasting, which seems to kind of come across by even like through sarcasm, making somebody not feel so great about themselves or pointing out something obvious if they're fat and ugly. You don't say that to their face.
Did you call David a slut? Is that what it was?
No, I can't remember what I said.
It's not important. I just thought that was funny.
I must have just said something about something, just a comment where you roll your eyes, and
yeah. But from different backgrounds and different like comfortability levels and stuff, like some of that stuff can go like south real quick in a relationship, especially like in a romantic relationship where I think everyone's a little more sensitive. I know I deal with the same thing in my current relationship where something will be said and then you're kind of like, do you like me? Because that seems like something you would say to somebody you don't like,
Right, but you have to have the maturity to be able to hear it and to be able to communicate back.
Yeah,
to make sure that connection isn't, blown out of proportion.
Yeah, knowing your audience on both ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when timing is a big deal. But I remember a long time ago I learned, probably from a work thing, like you should start out things on the positive. So if you're late to join a call, you could just say, "Oh, thank you, everybody." Instead of like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm late." Blah 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 blah. You start out with, "Thank you for waiting for me," and you start out that way. And I learned that a long time ago.
Thank you for your patience is one of the best phrases you can use in the professional world. Because you're not apologizing, because I imagine most of the time it's like if you're actually late to something and you're not the typical person who's late, there's probably nothing you could have done to avoid being late. So thank you for your patience.
And there's no reason to take up time explaining why you're late.
It's nobody's business, and nobody wants to hear it anyway. Most of the people are already annoyed.
Right. That one and that other thing I think I talked to you about, but the wait. Why am I talking?
Yeah.
That one.
Active listening is a great tool.
Yes.
We've been practicing that on our podcast.
Been practicing what?
Stop it.
Next question. Been totally monopolizing this whole conversation, so I don't know how you feel about that.
This is what happens. I haven't told him to talk. I haven't told him to talk more this episode, so he's forgiven.
See, that's my 20% roast right there. That's all. I'm done now.
Okay. Next question. How would you describe your first crush? And did you ever make a move?
I don't know if my brain works that well. My first crush.
The last crush that you can remember, then, not your first crush. The last crush you have, like, an actual memory of, let's say.
You know what's funny? Up until a certain point, I kind of got whoever I wanted anyway, because I was adorable. But there was this guy in high school who was, like, kind of a jock. I obviously didn't run in those circles, right? Wasn't a cheerleader or anything like that. And I was friends with this guy who we did photographs a lot together. Don't like make that all twisted. We did tried to do what we felt were high fashion kind of things. So anyway, we went up to Mount Diablo and shot in this field, and he had asked this guy to come take pictures too. And I was just like, oh my God. And then we drove back, and he was slightly drunk for some reason. I don't know if it was because he was trying to be more comfortable, or I don't know. But anyway, I almost died on Mount Diablo because it's very twisty, turny, 2 lanes, pretty close together. And he was slightly drunk, and he's driving. And I just learned a valuable lesson that day that where you just don't put somebody higher than. And then you get to know them, and they're just like a piece of crap, and they're not very impressive anymore, and it's like, what a waste of time. So in my first crush, that is the lesson that I learned.
So you did not make a move?
I did not make a move because he wasn't attractive to me anymore.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, and I can attest to that. I don't think anybody deserves the pedestal.
No. But, therein also lies the other stories where when people, one or the other, are drunk enough, then you can always obtain your crush as well. What about the Netflix and chill? Isn't that what the kids are saying nowadays?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's an ice cream. Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Also.
I know they say that, but I don't know what it means. I've never done that.
I've heard the phrase.
That's what I'm saying. I don't...
and I know it's been a while since that phrase was said, so I think there's a new phrase for it now.
Yeah, Hulu and chill.
I see.
Or Max and chill. Or now HBO Max and chill.
Got it.
Or Prime and chill.
I just want commercial free and chill.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, I do have to tell you, one of your episodes, you and Joel were talking about kids riding their bikes or something in the street. And you guys totally sounded like old guys.
Yeah, because there's a biker gang over here. It's crazy.
Like Joel's talking about it, there was 5 kids on bikes and they're taking up the road. And it's like,
it was more than 5.
Grandpa.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of our thing, though, is we're crotchety old uncles trying to do better.
It's funny. Joel.
Yes.
you know two of my children. Do you
I know
see?
3.
Do you know 3? Do you know Justin?
Oh, actually, I know. Well, we've met because of the wedding. So
Okay. So Joel has technically met all the brothers.
yeah.
He was
But he
at the
doesn't
wedding.
know them the way he knows you.
Correct. And he
Right.
doesn't know Miles the way he knows me either.
Oh, okay. So my question is, do you feel there are a lot of similarities between Sam and I?
Yeah.
Not just the Excel spreadsheets. I mean, beyond the spreadsheets.
I would say yeah. More or less from the previous one about the ratios. I feel somewhat that Sam I think would like to get more positive feedback than to get roasted.
I can't handle that.
While yeah, but yeah, I think he would prefer it. He does. He wouldn't mind getting roasted because he does play off of it more or less. But I feel like he would feel better if he got more compliments than roasts.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I think I could do a roast if it was being... Like, I could probably do a roast on this show with guests that I know and that I've brought on. But I also think I would need time limits for everybody. Because there's only so much I can hear before I start, like, oh, like, you have a lot to say. And then it's like, now it's hurting me.
Right.
So I could probably do, like, maybe a couple of roasts per guest before cracking.
Yeah, I would say your ratio is a little bit more than the 80-20 that your mom had, but I
Oh,
would
for
say
sure. I think I'm more sensitive than you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, I'm probably more of like a 95-5 kind of guy. Where, like, you could say one bad thing about me, but then I also need you to say, like, 15 good things about me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I could see that. Totally see that. I feel like we're very similar. I think that's why we talk so much or can talk so much and go all over the place because, yeah.
Well, and I think you and I are both respectful because I think we both, like, we disagree on some big things, I think.
Sure.
But I don't feel like that's ever been a deterrent for conversations or getting into, like, the nitty-gritty of any sort of topic. Like, we'll just talk about it.
Yeah.
And, like, I respect your opinion, and I hope you respect mine.
I do. I kind of have to because I'm your mom. It's the unconditional love thing.
But I do get the conservative kind of like, oh, well, you're being a snowflake kind of thing. I understand that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that to your face the way.
I'm saying I understand that. So I get it. I do get it. And again, I was raised the same way. Like, I do understand that. I just, my ideals or beliefs have shifted from my upbringing, I guess.
Yeah, but as your parent, as your mom, what's fantastic to see is just growth in general, right? Well, it doesn't matter. I don't care what direction you go into. I don't care what you believe in or don't believe in or anything like that. It's just really fascinating and such a proud mom moment to see you just become a human being, how you treat other people, how they feel about you, how you deal with situations, how you think about things, how you process things, how, all of that stuff. It's just it's really interesting to see as your mom to just see you grow into, a human being.
That sounds, I'm sure you didn't mean it this way, but it sounds very like scientific method almost, or like,
I'm much more analytical than emotional.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it sounds like almost like a, not that I feel like I'm a science experiment or that's how you see me, but the way that you've described that seems like from just a strictly observational, I guess, point of view, It's like, oh, this is very interesting. Like, look what happened. Wow. Is that...
Oh, that's not how I meant it at all.
Okay.
I mean, like, I just think it's interesting, your experiences, right? Everything you do or has happened to you or, you've lived through, people you've met along the way, all of that stuff shapes you into, like, who you are now.
For sure, yeah.
And as your mom, it's just great to see, like, your relationship with Joel and what you're doing with the podcast and how that's shaping you and creating this new avenue. It's just really great.
Well, yeah, and you got that kind of bird's eye view, and I'm sure you remember things about me that I don't remember about myself and stuff like that. Like, from when I was younger, for example. So
yeah,
you can
but
be like,
I'm not going to share those.
No, but you know what I mean? So you can be like, all right, well, I remember how you were at this age, and here you are at this age, and my thing's like, well, I can remember stuff that happened like maybe like a week ago.
Right.
So.
But I think it's also just being able to love and appreciate you as you get older and as you develop different sort of perspectives and your wisdom and things that we've talked about a lot versus me treating you like you're 12 or 14 or 20 or, because you're not that person. So
This episode feels very self-indulgent to me.
Well, Joel,
you're giving. I feel like I've got too many.
It's my
positive comments.
Joel, do you have any questions for me about Sam?
Yeah, anything. Embarrassing, non-embarrassing,
or just any questions in general as a.
That is a good question, by the way. Thank you.
As a me, just me. Anything you would like to know? Don't feel pressured, Joel. Just ask him.
No, yeah. I never feel pressured. It's just I'm taking some time to think because I didn't have anything prepped question wise.
Oh, interesting. Tables have turned.
Yes, yeah. The turns have tabled. I mean, for the most part, maybe advice on, because I know myself, I have more difficulty with interviews, especially since I'm looking for jobs at the moment.
Right.
But as far as I know I'm not good at interviews. So would there be any advice you would give for that?
So specifically job interviews?
Yeah.
So are you feeling like you're nervous because you don't know what to answer, how to answer, that kind of thing?
I wouldn't say nervous as more as because I don't know how to answer some questions. And especially because my personality is more like on the, I would say, I tend to, when I talk, use a lot more negative terms and can't really spin it to positive. Okay.
So I just recently started doing this, and it's just kind of how I got better and better at it. But I would research typical kind of questions that they're going to ask you in an interview. I don't know. Are you a tactile person? Like if you write things down, is it kind of in your brain a little bit better than if you read it or listen to it? Like how do things kind of permeate your brain?
Actually, yeah. I think the more I write it, the more.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of get a list of questions that you think that they might answer. And you should probably go pretty broad on this just so you kind of have a general idea. But a question that's sort of basic. So obviously when they ask you, tell us a little bit about yourself, right? Those kind of questions, write them out. So that way it permeates your brain a little bit so that you already have that in your mental Rolodex to just fire it off without kind of doing that stammering thing where you're thinking about it. You already know it. You already know it. So you're just bringing it out to share it again, right? Because this is like the 20th time you've shared it. And not where it comes across rote or robotic or anything, but you could still evoke emotion in what you're saying, but you just already have a script in your head of what they're going to say, right?
Okay.
And then a lot of times they'll ask you, I don't know about nowadays, again, this is kind of back in my day, but sometimes they'll say, well, do you have any questions for us? And you better have some questions for them.
Okay.
Because I've also interviewed people, and what it comes across as is that, well, do you even want this job? Are you even interested? How do you not have any questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can Google that too, Joel. It's like a real simple thing to just say, what kind of questions can you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times I would just get ones like, why, and they're not too evasive or intrusive either. It's like, well, why did the person leave? Or what can I expect my first week when I work here? Those are great questions. The other thing that I did at researching how to do interviews better is in your speech, in what you're saying, inject yourself into that job. So like when they ask you, what do you feel like your future is here? Well, I'm going to really, bring up numbers, or I'm really going to add this to that, to your company, or, you put yourself so that they almost subliminally, right? They picture you, they feel you, they hear you in that position.
Okay.
So it's just kind of going in with confidence. I think one of my other best job interviews I just had recently, it's because I didn't need the job. I wanted it, but I didn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's being yourself. Because if you kind of project somebody that's not even you, like not even your personality, it's gonna trip you up. Either during the interview or when you start working there, or the next time or whatever. I was in an interview. It was a panel interview with 9 other people.
Mm-hmm.
And my manager happened to text me, and my phone was sitting right here, and they texted me, and I glanced down, and it said something about my boss. And I said, I am so sorry. I said, my manager is texting me right now, and he knows I'm interviewing, so I think he's trying to sabotage this interview. So like it's just being kind of honest and transparent about that. Are you going in for actual interviews, or are they on camera?
There's been a few that, it's been all over the place. I think I had one that was not even with the person. It was just me sending recordings or video of myself answering a question.
Oh, I've done one of those. Yeah.
So that one felt a little bit more like not personal. So I couldn't
right.
It caught me off guard. And then
yeah, because you don't get that feedback, that interaction, and it is weird. Yeah, I've done that.
And I've also done in person as well.
So if you ever have a video interview, I taped little notes up by the camera, or
Mm-hmm.
just slightly off camera. So it's like people do this all the time, kind of when they're thinking and talking anyway. But they were just cues for me to kind of remember points that I wanted to make in response to questions that they were going to ask, so that I stayed on track and focused. Because I think if you don't basically have a script and you sort of try to ad-lib it a little bit, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
do that, see, you forget your train of thought, and then you come across not as well thought, or that is well versed in your brain, or that as polished,
Mm-hmm.
right? It comes across like, and you could say it too. You could be like, oh my gosh, I had this great point and I just totally lost my train of thought. Could you repeat the question, please? And then just kind of help you get focused back to it. But a lot of it's confidence. When we're interviewing, that's a big part of it. And you already know what you know.
Right.
And actually, Sam taught me this a long, long time ago. You got the interview. So there's something about you that you beat out a bunch of other people that just on paper alone, Joel, they want to meet you. So that you already have something that they want to know more about.
All right.
And she's the OG, man. Like, I feel like a lot of the stuff professionally that I have comes from her, so that's probably best to hear it from her, even though I missed half the conversation.
Well, it's really funny because the boys, when I was trying to get jobs and going for or just applying for jobs, right? The boys would always say, "Gosh, Mom, if they could just meet you," right? So that's what I'm saying is like on paper, I didn't care for squat. Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't even get in the room.
Right.
So you're getting these interviews, and so you're already impressive. Just on paper, Joel. Can you imagine words on paper? They already want to meet you.
Tell people that you're doing a podcast too. You could tell them that you're doing anything that you want on this thing, and they're just gonna call me and be like, "Yep, I worked with him for X amount of years, and now he's helping me out with this podcast, and it's been very helpful."
But again, it's confidence. Just remember that, Joel, that you're in the interview. That's, oh my gosh, that's maybe like 1%, right? Top 1% of whoever applies, and again, they want to meet you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a great episode.
That was a fantastic episode.
It's because I'm fantastic.
I'm sorry. Joel and I were just having a private conversation. If you could just wait for your cues.
Which is now. Did you have anything to chime in on that quote?
What did you think about the quote, Miss Mauri, Mrs. Mauri?
I think that family is very important. It's the unconditional love you need as you kind of go through life and make mistakes, and someone to share accomplishments with, and all those kinds of things. So don't treat your family like poop.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I would say it's the foundation of how you grow up to be, and even if your family's not well off, most families mean well, and they want to support you no matter what. Sometimes it may not look like it, but that's their main goal is they want what's best.
And then just jumping back to the treating your family like poop thing, I feel like I treat my poop very well. I got essential oils in the bathroom. I have a bidet. I use bamboo toilet paper,
So you
for
treat
the
your
environment.
poop like family.
I'm just saying I treat my poop very well, which means I treat my family even better. No, I do my best. I think our family has had there's been tiffs. There's been, I don't know if falling out's the right word. That seems a little extreme, but there have been tiffs and disagreements and whatnot, and I don't know. The love's never been lost, I guess.
I think that a book could definitely be written. However, that book would not be as salacious as other books.
No, I think it would be a book about understanding.
Sure.
At its core, where it's this person did this thing that I didn't agree with, this person's doing this thing that I don't agree with, but if they ever asked me for something, like, I'm always available. I'm here.
And knowing you again for all of your life, I feel like I did the best I could in the moment. It's not like I did it before, so.
Oh, were you? I'm sorry. Did you take anything that I just said a little personally? That had
not
nothing
too
to do with
shabby.
you.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. And this
Okay.
goes back to stuff we've talked about.
Okay. But yeah, I do
You're
think
welcome.
no, but I do to kind of bookend that. I do think family is very important, and I do think that it's. I guess if I'm being completely honest, I think I wish it were something more important to me currently. Like I guess I wish I could. I wish I felt like I could lean on more people in the family more frequently than I do.
Oh, definitely.
Which I think would be. Which is why I'm not like, oh, I 100% subscribe to this quote and I totally agree with it. But
Well,
I guess the ideal part of it I completely agree with, but the reality of it I feel distant from a lot of the family on both sides, you know?
well, there's a romantic side and then there's a practical application side. The
Correct.
romantic side's ride or die, tarp, shovel, no questions asked, right?
Oh,
That's the
I'd
romantic
settle.
side.
I'd settle for just like more frequent communication. I think.
Aren't you supposed to call your mother? Isn't that the whole joke?
I'm not
Isn't
talking
that the
about
whole
you.
stereotype.
I'm not talking about you. And yes, I probably should be doing that because you had mentioned earlier about how you talk to your mom every day, and
I
you're
did.
the age that
Yeah.
she was when she died, which had a very there was a moment there for me where I was like, oh fuck. I'm like, I should be calling you more. Or like I should be talking to you more often.
Oh yeah.
I think though when we do talk, it's very rich.
Yes. Well, and I guess
And
that's the thing
robust.
too is you don't want it to be those conversations where it's like, hey, I'm calling you for the morning because it's the time that I call you for the morning and there's nothing to talk about because I just talked to you last night. Nothing has happened in
and-
between those 2 points.
And to be fair, I was a stay-at-home mom when I talked to her, and she was at home sick, so she was at home as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like we had lot or jobs and
Well, I do.
things that.
I felt like we were all talking a little bit more during COVID because everybody was kind of grounded.
And you felt shut in and
Yeah.
isolated.
Yeah.
And I talked
But
to
yes,
my mom.
it's my responsibility too. I mean, as I get older, it's not it's not going to be like, I really wish I would have spent less time reaching out to my children. That's not a thing.
I mean, we're still young. You don't know. You don't know what we're going to get up to. Like
Joel, your thoughts on family?
Oh yeah. When I was out away in the army, it was either every Saturday or Sunday, definitely every weekend, I would talk to my mom and let her know what I did and what was the plan for the following week, and that way she knew, okay, he's safe, sound, and he's okay. But yeah.
Did you look forward to those calls each week?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, that's something that kept me, at least for sure, going through like all the separation, because definitely there were some tears when I first left, for both of us, or even for my dad. But yeah, it was just something to keep me connected again, because family is really important to me. So yeah, that those conversations helped a lot.
was there ever a struggle to kind of come up with conversation, or was it pretty free flowing?
No, it was pretty free flowing. Like I said, because it was every weekend. So
Right.
there was definitely something to talk about, like, oh, this happened this week, or
Right.
like
Right.
this happened this day. If it was every day, then yeah, like Sam was saying, like there's yesterday this happened, and this day
And were they
that happened.
video calls, or were they just
No, they were
telephone
just
calls?
telephone calls. Oh yeah, when I was in the army, there wasn't much video calling. I don't think FaceTime was out yet.
Were you limited on the amount of calls that you could make during, let's say, a week to the public? Okay, so
I could have called whenever.
Okay, but those you guys
Yeah,
had
yeah.
kind of scheduled. Then I imagine,
Yeah.
like weekly.
Yeah, I think there was one weekend I didn't call, and then because we were out like on an exercise and there was no cell service.
Mm.
But the following weekend, I talked to her, explained the whole thing, but yeah.
She must have freaked out not hearing from you. Oh my God.
Maybe. I don't. At least on the phone call, it didn't sound that way. But yeah.
Well,
probably.
Any takeaways on the job interview? Do you feel a little more empowered at all, or?
Yeah. Yeah, more so, like, I know, like, from the advice you gave me, I know exactly what to kind of focus on now.
Oh, and I think one thing that I forgot to tell you is, like, when research the company a little bit and ask them something about the company. Again, it just shows your interest and intellect. Bye, Joel.
Bye.
Thank you for coming,
Love you,
joining
Ruby.
us. Love you too.
Thank you for your patience.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.